Donnie and Dolly. The team is supported by ableauctions.ca. Closing your business? We can help.
Yep, Tuesday, and all of our guests today, as you heard earlier, including Craig Button, standing by, brought to you by Pastime Sports and Games. More on them later, but now we bring in TSN Scouting Director Craig Button. Craig, thanks for doing this, sir. How are you?
And great, Donnie. Hope your weekend was good. Had a wonderful, wonderful time with Rick on Friday night before the Giants game. Went to Pat Quinn's restaurant out in Tawasin, and just the restaurant was great. The food was great. The company was the best.
Yeah. It's funny, Craig. This is the first that Ryan and I are hearing about it. We didn't get the invite. Do you know what that's all about?
No, they got the invite.
I don't know what it is. But, when somebody invites you, I can't start inviting other people on my behalf. You'll have to work this out with Rick.
It was a pleasure. Pleasure meeting you, sir.
He's gonna hear about it. This is what Vancouver hockey fans are hearing about right now. Marcus Pettersson, all sorts of rumors swirling about the Penguins defenseman, and some of them involving the Vancouver Canucks. Should the Canucks be interested in Marcus Pettersson? What can you tell us about him?
Well, I would say absolutely they should be interested in Marcus Pettersson. I mean, pretty soon, if your name isn't Pettersson, you're not going to be able to play for the Vancouver Canucks. Oh, yeah, all kidding aside, it'll say E. Pettersson 2, M. Pettersson. That being said, and keep in mind that Jim Rutherford and Patrick Alvin know Marcus Pettersson. So having that comfort level with knowing the player and knowing how much he's progressed, and most importantly, feeling comfortable with what he can contribute. I think Marcus Pettersson's just a really good, steady, smart defender. The puck's going to come out of your zone clean. He defends very superbly, with return, good, strong positioning. He doesn't try to be something he's not. He's not going to try to race up and down the ice. He's not going to try to dangle. He gets to the pucks, and then he knows where his outlets are defensively. And when you have good offensive players want to know that they can get out of the defensive zone and they don't have to spend all that grind time defending. And defensemen like Marcus Pettersson help you do exactly that as a team and help your good offensive players do what they do best. So absolutely, when you have a player that can come in and play those types of minutes and contribute in that way, you have to be interested. And certainly Jim and Patrick's familiarity with Marcus certainly helps that interest become, I would guess, a lot greater. It would make the Vancouver Canucks a much better team with Marcus Pettersson on the back end.
But Craig, the price is going to be high. Dubas has already hinted at that. Canucks gave up a first and a second rounder last year. Boy, if you give up a first rounder 2 years in a row, the prospect cupboard might be pretty bare in 2 or 3 years. Are you okay with another first rounder?
Well, I mean, here's what I would say. Okay, so Chris Tanev went for a second-round pick last year.
Yep.
Okay, so I'm not suggesting that a first-round pick, but every manager comes, oh, this is my ask. Well, it's like when you're selling your house. If your house is worth $200,000, you can ask for $500,000. It doesn't mean you're getting it. So again. So Jim Rutherford knows and Patrick they know how to navigate through this and everything like this. So if you ask me the question straight up, at this point in time and everything, managers are going to ask for more. And what Kyle Dubas has to recognize is, in my view, is that what's he going to do to get his team into a better position in the years to come? Because they don't have any prospects and whatnot. And so maneuvering through that, is there a player there? Is there a different type of player? Is there a prospect there that you can move along that can keep your first round draft pick? Because when you think about Tommy Vilander and you think about Jonathan Lekkerimäki, 2 first round picks that are going to be a big part of the Vancouver Canucks. Some of it in the present, certainly in the future. Yeah, I'd be very leery about trading a first round pick. But that being said, you try to find a way to get Marcus Pettersson. And I think they can do it. My view is you can do it without giving up a first-round draft pick.
Craig, if we can get back to Marcus Pettersson for 1 second. November last year, the Canucks pick up Nikita Zadorov. it cost them a third rounder and a fifth rounder. How would you compare Nikita Zadorov, and Vancouver fans have a love affair with this guy still, to Marcus Pettersson in terms of in terms of value?
Yeah, they're different types of players, and Nikita came in and he played a role, and I think Nikita is the type of player that really helps you come playoff time. Not that he doesn't help you during the regular season, but during the regular season they help create that type of team you want to be, the type of defending team you want to be, and that's certainly what Rick Tocchet and Adam Foote were looking for. Nikita provided that. I think Marcus isn't as big, he's not as rugged as Nikita Zadorov, but I think he can play more minutes than Nikita Zadorov. I don't have any question in my mind that Marcus is a good, solid second pair defender. And you bring up a good point, third and fifth round draft pick. It also just gives me reinforcement in my own mind. You don't have to give up a first round draft pick to get Marcus Pettersson. And Kyle can ask for whatever he wants. And, if that's that's not the price. I think the prices get established over time. Jim Rutherford and Patrick know what they are. But a bottom pair defenseman, and Nikita was really good in that regard, good penalty killer. I think Marcus can play more minutes and be a real good, solid second pair defenseman. So in that regard, my belief is that you're looking at Marcus Pettersson as a better player for the Vancouver Canucks.
And Craig, we find out this morning that Alex Ovechkin will be out week to week with his knee injury suffered last night in Utah. He scored 2 goals before that to go with the 3 he got in Vegas the night before. But 39 years old. How do you explain his hot start?
Well, I'll explain it. Let me just say this real quickly. He's had 38 goals in his last 54 games. 38 goals in his last 54 games. We know that last year, the first half of the season was not Ovechkin-esque, but the last 54 games, everybody's happy that has to play against the Washington Capitals right now, knowing they don't have to face Ovi. He's got 15 and 18 games this year. He's on fire, and then that goes without saying. I attribute a big part of his success to Dylan Strome. Dylan Strome is a lowercase Nicholas Backstrom type player. Nicholas Backstrom was a great player. He was a great setup player for Alexander Ovechkin. And then injuries took Nicholas Backstrom out of the lineup, is taking him out of the league. Getting Dylan Strome, who can make plays, who's very, very smart, I think has really elevated Alexander Ovechkin's goal scoring and his ability. And, the first half of last year wasn't great, but if you look at the 38 goals in 54 games, I think that Dylan and Alex have found that chemistry. And with it, Alex has found that goal-scoring prowess that has made him and will make him the most goals scored in the history of any NHL player whenever he gets back to playing, and hopefully it's sooner rather than later. But Dylan Strome has been instrumental in Alexander Ovechkin getting back to his goal-scoring ways.
And very quickly, Craig, before we let you go, referee Mitch Dunning taken to hospital after colliding with Josh Manson Monday. You surprised this doesn't happen? And it looked serious. Obviously, he was taken to hospital. You surprised this doesn't happen more often at all levels?
I am surprised. You think about the speed that the game is played at, how quickly things unfold. And, one of the things that happens so quickly now in the game, transition. And a team gives up a puck one way and they're quickly going the opponent's going the other way so quickly. So not only do you have to adjust as an opponent, you have to adjust as an official. That transition and how quickly it unfolds. And I think that's what we see in every game. Unfortunately, in that situation on Monday night, you saw an injury, and I am surprised it doesn't happen more. Which also speaks to how good these officials are and how quickly they can adapt and how quickly things happen. But this is the speed at which the game gets played at. I don't think the good news is that all signs point that he'll be fine. And certainly, you hope you don't see that again, but it is surprising, Donnie, that we don't see that more often.
NHL saying that all neurological signs are normal with him. So all the best to him. This just in, Craig, Rick owes you, me, Ryan, Derek a lunch. Next time you're in Vancouver, we'll all go out together. It's on him, okay?
Hey, I'll sign me up. I'm in. Just Tell me where to be and what time to be there, and I'll make sure I'm joining you. It'll be a great time.
Done deal. Thanks, Greg.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.